Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 73. I'm your host, Angelo, and thank you for checking us out again, telling a friend, blah, 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 reviewing us and whatnot. Actually, I'm going to bring that up at the top of the show. If you can, please go to iTunes and review the stars. Review the show, 5 stars preferably. It does really help out. It bumps it up the rating list thing. So I finally got this all situated, I think. So I fixed my computer. I'm still going to get a new hard drive, all that jazz, after the meltdown of the weeks past. But I finally got a chance to get another first look up onto YouTube, and it is for a game that I played. Yay, I played a game. So I played the game Secret Ponchos, the Most Wanted Edition. So Secret Ponchos came out October 13th. Stupid. So yeah, it came out October 13th. It's currently very positive. 83% out of 620 reviews. I don't know if this video actually has any gameplay in it. Let's see if I can find one with gameplay in it. If not, I'll bring up my YouTube video. I know this one does. All right, scroll back. So Secret Ponchos is $14.99. It's not an early access game. This is a release title. So it's $15, or they do what I love with multiplayer games, and they have a 4-pack for the price of 3. So it's $44.99 for a 4-pack of this game. So you save $15, but if you get a couple friends in, you know, it'll save you all a few bucks. So what Secret Ponchos is, it's mainly 3v3 PvP battles. Currently, there's 8 different characters you can choose from. All of them have their own unique skill set. It's essentially a twin-stick shooter. So top-down, arena-styled fighting. It takes place in like a Western theme. All the character designs are really cool. There's like a heavy-set guy, like a buff guy that has like a sniper rifle, and everything has like a charge to it. Not everything, but so basically what you do is you use the WASD keys and your mouse, and you use the right mouse button to draw your weapon up in front of you, and then you get a cursor that shows up, and it'll show you your range with whatever weapon you're using. And then it's just a gunslinging, fast-paced action fighting game. It's really cool. The movement's very fluid. If you go watch the YouTube video, the first look that I did, I played about 45 minutes of it. I played with 2 different characters, but like I said, there's 8 different ones. I haven't tried any other ones, because it was a first look, so it was the first time I played it. So I played through the tutorial, tried out a couple different characters. It is a really interesting game, though. There's a lot of people playing it right now. Here, we'll check real quick. Steam charts. We'll see how many people are playing it. Secret Ponchos. Actually, there's not too many people playing it, which is surprising. About 25-ish people, but you'll be able to get into matches, so that's the benefit. And if I'm not mistaken, if you have a console, it came out on the PS4 as well. Let's see, did it come out on Xbox? It didn't come out on Xbox. So it's a PS4 Steam exclusive. I don't know if it's gonna come out on Xbox, but it's a really cool game though. There's one DLC for it. It's a bunch of developer some skins. It's $8.99 for a new skin for each of the 8 characters, and it says it also helps support the developers to continue expanding the game. I think it's a really interesting game, especially if you're going to go with the 4-pack for 3, for the price of 3. Get your friends involved, play it. But right now there's 25 people in there, so you shouldn't have a problem jumping in and playing with other people. I didn't have any problems joining the matches that I played. It took a couple seconds, probably 30 seconds or so. Nothing more than any other game that I've played before. I think the biggest thing that's cool about this is the art style. It's got this cel-shaded kind of art style, but it feels like a Western. The music's spot on. The gunplay feels nice. It's just a little bit weird because it is a twin stick style shooter and there's charge abilities, and I couldn't really figure it out. The one that I was playing, one of the characters it's their second weapon is like a dagger, and what you do is you hold in the right mouse button to start getting into like this pounce position. It's a character with like a wolf skin over top of it, like a wolf pelt. And so you crouch down with the right trigger, and then you hold in the left trigger and it charges, and then you have to aim at somebody, and your character pounces on them. And then if you keep hitting the left mouse button, which is the attack, the primary attack, you'll hit them with a flurry of attacks, like pounce. I was having trouble with that charge attack though. The other character I played, I can't. Let's see. Actually, his picture might be in here, and I can tell you who he was. No, it wasn't him. They got just pictures of the guys with their different skins, and they don't have the names. Of course, they don't have all the characters on here. Can't remember the name of the character. He just said it was like a sheriff. So his ability was like he had a 6-shooter, and then he also has his secondary weapon is a badge. So if you pull up your secondary weapon, which is a badge, and you use it, you basically shine it on the character like you're like, I am the law. And then what it does is it puts a mark on them, so everything that anybody does damage-wise to them, I think it does critical damage. It only lasts a couple seconds. It's got like a 15-second or so cooldown, but it's an interesting mechanic. And every character, like I said, has their own group of mechanics. It's a different. Everybody has 2, like a primary and a secondary weapon, but then you can interact with those abilities by switching back and forth on the fly. For instance, the one character is Kid Red, I believe, and he has dual 6-shooter pistols, but his secondary weapon is dynamite. So you can throw the dynamite and wait for it to blow up. However, if you throw the dynamite and pull your guns back out and shoot it, it'll blow up whenever you shoot it, which is hard to do, but it detonates a little bit quicker. But yeah, Secret Ponchos. It was a fun game, and I'm probably gonna get another video up for it soon. I also have I just got a review copy of Destiny, which is like this turn-based card game / board game that looks pretty interesting. That's in early access, and I'm excited to check that out. And I'll have that video up probably over the next week, or throughout the next week, probably before the next podcast. So that's all I played, other than Destiny, which nothing new has happened there. Trials of Osiris is happening, and that's been fun. But the big news is BlizzCon was this weekend. So those of you that have been following, let's see, what is the big news that came out of that? So they announced World of Warcraft Legion. The next expansion is going to hit November of next year. So November 2016, we're going to get Legion. Legion adds new character class, more stuff, raises the level cap to 110. There's going to be another token with the box copy, or the copy that allows you to boost a character to level 100 this time. But that is a long ways away, and especially with them losing subs as quickly as they are, I'm actually kind of surprised with how far in the future that is. But the other big news is everybody's been excited because the Overwatch closed alpha or beta, whatever you want to call it, I think it's a closed beta, started last week. Clearly my status in the media world isn't high enough because I didn't get a copy of it to play. However, right before BlizzCon, it leaked that there was console versions of this game thanks to somebody at GameStop. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't look too far into it, but from what I know is that somebody messed up somewhere in GameStop and leaked that there was going to be console versions of the game. Well, to no one's surprise, come BlizzCon, they did announce console versions of Overwatch. So if you don't know what Overwatch is, it's a first-person shooter, which is a first for Blizzard. And, excuse me, it's a hero-based first-person shooter like Team Fortress. you have a bunch of different character classes and different characters, but it's going to be a lot more than than something like Team Fortress. It's kind of like a combination of a first-person team-based co-op game, and there's also going to be like a MOBA map and stuff like that, I believe. I haven't watched too much of the footage, even though people are out there streaming it. But the biggest thing that came out is the price point and the launch window. So it's 2016 as the launch window. It says expected game release date is on or before, looks like June 21st of next year. If you pre-purchase it now, you'll get a copy, like a skin for one of the characters. From what I understand, I think it's going to be $40 on PC. Yeah, so there's currently 21 heroes. Let me close that. So there's currently 21 heroes that are going to be available. There's going to be 5 skins and digital goods. I think this is what you get if you, let's see, in-game, you get Origins Edition. So if you pre-purchase the Origins Edition, let's see. So there's so there's 3 different versions of it right now. So there's the regular Overwatch edition, which is you get the Noir skin for Widowmaker. There's 21 different characters, heroes, and then it's whatever. If you pre-order the Origins edition, which is $60, you get 5 different character skins, and then a bunch of digital goods, which seems to be a card back for Hearthstone, wings for Diablo, a Warcraft pet, a game in here, character in Heroes of the Storm, and some player portraits for StarCraft. So it actually seems like it's worth the $20. Just because if you play Blizzard games, you probably play most Blizzard games, so you get all these little cool extras. Or you can buy the collector's edition. This doesn't look like it has a price. It looks like the collector's edition's unavailable right now. Might have sold out already. This doesn't have anything different from the Origins edition as far as content, but it does come with a, let's see, what is it? A Soldier 76 statue, which is like a 13-inch statue. Looks pretty cool. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see it in the screen. And it also comes with stuff like normal collector's edition stuff, visual source book, soundtrack. But other than that, the stuff that you get is the same as the stuff that you get in the Origins edition. Now, the Origins edition is $60, and it doesn't have the digital stuff here. So the regular version on PC is $40 from what I understand. On the consoles, it's still a full title release, so it will be $60. I would recommend going and watching videos. Everything I've seen of it looks really good, and from what I've heard from people, they seem to be really enjoying it. It's gonna be another really big game. The biggest thing that shocked me though is that it's a purchase game. Like, it's not a free-to-play game with the similar model to, like, say, Heroes of the Storm or MOBAs. I thought it was gonna be, each class type. You got your like assassin class and your tank and everything like that, and your support class. I thought it was going to be similar like that, where you would have accumulating credits, you could unlock them that way, and then there would be a rotating weekly pool of characters that you can play, like in Dota or whatever, or not Dota, in League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm, where there's 1 or like 5 different characters you can try every week. Seems to not be the case. So it's a one-time purchase. I'm assuming they're going to be transactioning the shit out of this, though. So expect to buy, experience boosts and, skins. I mean, they're already offering skins as pre-order bonus, so expect to have to purchase skins. Other than that, though, it seems like the characters are going to roll out as they roll out if there is more. If not, don't be surprised if you're going to have to purchase characters in the future as they roll out. If they're going to keep this game going online and it needs to be competitive, you're probably going to have to pay for something else besides the base game. I know the only reason Diablo makes any money is, it continues to get updates, is because of the fact that WoW exists, and now Hearthstone and Here's the Storm bring in a lot of money for Blizzard. However, WoW's been falling off on the numbers, but it's still played by most people. But yeah, Overwatch. I'm excited to check it out. I wish I had gotten into the beta, but unfortunately I didn't. So the other thing is, I wanted to talk about what happened with Fallout 4. So if you haven't been following the game's news, it was reported that a company out of the UK for the PipBoy edition pre-orders recently sent a bunch of people emails. And in these emails, they were told that their order wasn't processed because PayPal declined their request. And because the way this company was handling pre-orders was you paid 20 euro to hold your pre-order, and then they would charge you the full price once it's shipped. However, it seems like they're using PayPal as an excuse. It hasn't been confirmed or denied yet, but it seems like that's what's happening, because they sent a bunch of people emails saying that their PipBoy edition was canceled, which is unfortunate because a lot of these people seem to have pre-ordered it back in June when it went up for sale. It kind of sucks because the game comes out in like 2 days now, or 1 day. This is going to go up today, so it comes out tomorrow, and these people are now finding out that they don't have this version of the game that they wanted. It's disappointing. It's a shitty way to find out. I'm super excited. Only 24 hours or so left until I get my PipBoy edition. I'm hoping it's here when I get done work on Tuesday, but according to Amazon, it's not. It could show up as late as 8 o'clock. So I was really hoping to get some time in with it. But be prepared. I will be talking about that game probably in a nutshell. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll be talking about it a lot coming up in the next few episodes. But Fallout 4, man, if you like Skyrim, if you like the previous Fallout games, if you like big open world single player experiences, Fallout is by and far one of the best series for that. And I just personally, I can't wait for it to come out. And plus, this one looks amazing. They added so much stuff to it, like base building and the weapon customization, and there's just so much in these games, and all the stuff that they added just makes me more excited for it. But that's it as far as news and stuff that I've played. But let's talk about a couple of games that have come out. So these are all early access titles that I pulled that came out in the last couple days. So this game is called RogueLands. Let's see, very positive, 95% out of 107 reviews. It's an adventure indie action RPG. It's got a really cool pixel art style, up-res pixel art style, so it's got a higher bit rate. It's higher, like, poly count for a pixel count for just traditional pixel art. But it just has that kind of art style. It's $9.99. It's currently in early access. They seem to be on top of trying to update stuff. So this is a single player or multiplayer co-op platformer, like slasher game. Side scrolling. It's what you expect out of the art style. It looks pretty cute. It's funny because if you watch the beginning of the trailer, it looks like super hardcore, but then like you get into it and it's like super cute and slashy and shooty. Looks like there's a lot of particle effects and jumping around. So it's procedurally generated maps though, and you're just RPGing it up, killing creatures, collecting loot, stuff that makes games like this have replayability. Plus, there's the ability to play it in co-op with your friends. Does it have like a crafting system? Yeah, so it has a crafting system and everything. Doesn't look like there's a building system though. Not that I can tell. It just says, craft powerful gear, slay otherworldly creatures, and save the galaxy. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Apparently my brain needed oxygen. It doesn't look like you can build anything, but it's still got like its own crafting system and everything. It looks pretty neat. Go check it out. The link's in the show notes. I'm gonna actually. Oh, they don't have a website, so now I gotta go and find these guys afterwards. Oh, it's from the guys that made Magicite. So that's why the art style looks similar. So if you ever played Magicite, Magicite has it's 91% out of 4,300 reviews, and it's a similar style game. I didn't realize it was from the same company. Yeah, it doesn't even say. I don't know why. I don't know why they hit it. So yeah, let's see. Explore procedurally generated worlds, crafting system, permanent death but not permanent progression. No, but permanent progression, which is I love for this kind of game. Master every weapon type and variant, and collect all combat chips. You can collect combat chips before beaming out of a planet to augment your character. And unlock secrets behind the Destroyer and the Scourge. So this seems really interesting for $10. Hopefully it's as good as it seems, but I would go check that out. Alright, so the next game I got is this game called Galaxy Admirals. 2 reviews, both of them are positive. It's a multiplayer, turn-based cosmic strategy game. It's 99 cents, so there's that, but the thing is with 2 reviews, there's probably nobody playing it. So it's a hex-based board game. It's an animated board game. It reminds me of the game Nirishima Hex, or like I always go to that game when I talk about hex-based strategy games because that's the one I can think of that's similar to these kind of games. So you're playing your units on a game board that's made up of a bunch of little hexagons and so on and so forth. It looks pretty neat. And for 99 cents, that's pretty cool. There is a single player component, so you don't have to rely on playing with other people. But I'm surprised at 99 cents, though it hasn't had a lot of people playing it. You know, games generally aren't $1, but so go check that out, Galaxy Admirals. All right, so the next game I got is called Princess.Loot.Pixel.Again. So this is 10 reviews, all of them are positive. It's a single player action indie RPG similar to RogueLands. Art style is not as good as that game looks, but it is a little more 8-bit style pixel art, side-scrolling platformer. I don't know why this video doesn't want to play. There we go. It's $4.24, but it's 15% off until November 13th. It's usually $5, but it's a similar style game, side-scrolling platformer. You've played this kind of game before. It looks competent enough, so go check that out. Especially under $5, I'm sure you'll get your money's worth. Just check out a review. Looking pretty good, but if you're looking to play for hours right now, it's not time to buy it. Yeah, so is exactly what you expect out of an early access game. It's not finished. There's not a lot, all the content's not there. So it looks pretty cool though. I like games like that. All right, so the last game I got for you guys is called PipBoy. It's a 3D puzzle platformer adventure game. It's got 21 reviews, all of which are positive. It's $10, but it's 33% off, so it's usually $15 until November 13th. So you got a few days left to try that out. It reminds me of any 3D, behind the back camera, third person puzzle game. So think, Super Mario 64, that style, or maybe the new Zeldas even. It even kind of has a similar art style. Made by PolyKid. I don't know. Have you guys made anything else that I should be aware of? Let's find out. Nope, not on Steam. But yeah, if you're interested in a 3D puzzle platformer, 3D adventure puzzle platformer, then go check that out. There's not too many of these games that come out, and you even collect coins. So it is a lot like, it is a lot like Super Mario 64. You got double jumps and collecting coins and then like wall jumps and stuff. It's pretty much it's pretty much Super Mario 64. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys this episode. As usual, Early Access PC on Twitter, Early Access Podcast on YouTube. Go, like I said at the beginning of the show, please review the show, 5 stars, yeah, whatever. Send me an email at earlyaccesspodcast.com if you have any recommendations for games that you would like me to talk about or see, or if you know anybody, or if you're a developer that happens to listen to the show. I'm trying to start scheduling interviews for the show. I want to start making it so at least once a month I'm getting a 30 to 60 minute interview to talk about what games you're playing, like what games you like, what game you're making, what inspired you, what the early access program is like for you, and if you're not in the early access program, why you chose not to go with it, what it was like to get your, to get your funds for your game. I find like this podcast is not so much just for the people that like indie games and play the early access stuff, but it's also for developers. I've made a lot of relationships since I started this podcast with a lot of developers, and they seem to really like what I do here because it gives exposure to people that don't have it. And don't have the budget for it either. That's why I'm able to get keys for games, even though I don't have a huge following. It's because every little bit helps, especially when you're, when you're a small team and you're putting all of your money into your video game. Like, you can't afford to, to advertise and stuff like that and have big campaigns for your game outside of social media. And I feel like, what I'm doing here is a little bit of in between. It's a little social media, but it's a little bit of exposure for everybody, and I have a good time doing it. If you or somebody you know would like to get on the show to do an interview, I'm trying to schedule those, like I said. So email at earlyaccesspodcast.com. Other than that, guys, thank you for listening. Tell a friend. And until next time, this is Angelo for Early Access Podcast and earlyaccessmedia.com. And I will see you for the next episode.